Okay, everybody, thank you for coming. Chip, you can see a few new faces who have joined us. We've got, phones on silent, please. So my whole team is here, Chip, Robin, Nicoletta, and Bridget. And Nicoletta is the one that's responsible for doing the send-out cards portion of our business, but all we do is birthdays and anniversaries. And the way Chip has his send-out cards organized is there's so much more to it, which is why we brought him back, because now it's the holidays, it's a great opportunity to do little special things for people. Oh, David was there.
Oh, sorry.
Okay, it's okay, you can sit up front. So I'm going to let you have the floor. I'm going to sit at the back of the just after 2, but you know, the girls are here. Because I want them to absorb all of your knowledge.
I'm
Okay.
mostly going to talk about
Your name.
holiday cards today, but I can talk about other things too, as you wish. I normally don't talk about pricing up front, but I want to plant a seed. They created a new package in October for scheduled cards. Depending on the plan that you're on, scheduled cards can be $1.75 each, or $2.25, or so basically $2.25, $1.75. With the scheduled card package, there's one where you can pre-purchase 1,000 cards for $9.95, so it's 99 cents a card.
Wow.
Or 500 for $6.25, which is $1.25 a card. So you're saving either 25% or 43%. At first I thought, $1,000, that's expensive. Then I realized you get what they call their first impressions cards, which I call designer cards. Thank you, nice to meet you, celebrating possibilities. There's either black with gold or white with maybe silver, I can't remember. I use those a lot when I've met someone in a professional capacity. I don't feel comfortable going to their Facebook page and stealing pictures of their kids or their dog. They're very professional, they're easy, there's a place for a photograph inside, and then you write a message. So I use those a lot. You get those free with those scheduled card packages. Question?
Does anybody here not know what send-out cards is?
Okay, I'll back up then.
Thank you.
Computer also went down.
The computer went to sleep.
Oh, it just went to sleep. Let's just go.
Yeah.
Wake it up.
Okay. Yeah.
I'll wake it up. So we'll back up. My Send-Out Cards is a portal that will allow you to create a custom greeting card, send a card alone or with a gift, from your phone or from your computer. I found it quite by accident through a Facebook group. Someone said, who sends just sold postcards? I said, I do. I posted one of my postcards. And then they said, well, there's a group for sending cards. So I Googled send cards and joined the group. And it did say official send-out card group, but I thought, oh, well, maybe I can call it whatever they want. So I posted my postcard, which is not a send-out card, and someone started asking me questions, and I didn't have any of the right answers, and she said, you have no idea what this is, do you? And I said, no, because she said, are you a distributor? I said, no, I'm a realtor, and anyway, she explained it. And I watched it for quite a while. I was a bit skeptical, I'll be perfectly honest, but it's just a greeting card, like what's the big deal? But people said they had tripled their income, doubled their income, gone from 30% referral to 100% referral. Another woman who's a realtor who called somebody who was a referral. She said, I've already seen 3 agents. I don't really need to see anybody else. And she said, well, let me come and see your house and meet you. I may have a buyer that's perfect for your house. And so she went, she met the woman, she had a couple of kids. She followed up with a thank you card and sent 4 brownies so she could share with the kids. And of course, the kids who were like 8 and 10 said, pick the lady who sent the brownies. Now, whether that was the reason, she did get the listing. So I like to think it was her skills. But the woman didn't even want to see her. So it makes you stand out. Or just send the card by itself. And there's a quote that I like, people don't care what you know until they know that you care. And that this is a way of letting them know that you care. So, like I said, I found it quite by accident. And I started sending cards. And literally within the first few weeks, I sent a happy spring card to a woman in my farm. She was an elderly woman. I would drop off my newsletter. I knew her a little bit by name, but not a lot. And so I thought she loved to garden. And I thought it's late March, spring. She's probably anxious to get into the garden. So I sent her a happy spring card. She called me, thanked me profusely. Glad you liked it. No, I loved it. Love is a good word. And then she said, by the way, a realtor knocked on my door, and they want to buy my house for a builder for $1.9 million. And I said, well, honestly, it's not a bad price. Is it the best price? The only way we'll know is if you market your home and You don't want to sell to the first person who comes along and knocks at your door. They paid $16,000 in 1956. So and I'm a firm believer. It shouldn't matter what you paid. You know, you can inherit that for free. You should still get market value. So I said to her, even if you only get $50,000 more, where I come from, that's a lot of money. You know. So she said, well, we've never sold a house. We've been here 60 years, 60. Can you come over and talk to my husband and me? Sure, absolutely. So when I left, I took a picture of their house and sent a thank you card for giving me the opportunity to explain my services. I said, when the time comes, I'd be honored to represent you. So that was like March, May. I looked up when they bought their house, it was July, so I sent a happy 60th anniversary card. All over their gardens, picture of our house, and in fact, she called me after the thank you card with her. That picture of my house looks so good. Could I get some copies? Absolutely, love to.
I'm confused about what you're saying about the pictures.
A picture, I'll show you in a second.
Oh, so are the cards with photos?
With photos, that's right. As many photos as you want. In fact, I'll look up her. One of the nice things about this system is that you've got a record of every card you've ever sent. So you can look back, as long as it's spelled correctly, at what you've sent. And so I sent her this. She was all about squash, Hubbard squash. I'd never heard of Hubbard squash. So this was the spring card that I sent. I want to make it about them. It's not about you. That's the secret. So I'd never heard of Hubbard squash before her. That's what it is. They're kind of ugly, actually. And I found a children's ditty on the internet about Hubbard squash. Just a happy spirit. So that's what started it off. And then after I met her.
So Chip, you know what, I'm just going to pause you for a sec.
Sure.
So you could put whatever you want on these cards. You could just pick a card from the system and mail it, or you could add your own photos.
And I'll show
They're
you
not
that.
greeting cards. They're not like
They are
Yes,
greeting
sensors.
cards.
Everything.
Exactly what you see up here. So if you want to take a look at any of these cards, I brought quite a few
Pick it
samples.
online, and then it gets mailed in.
You either pick it or you create it online. That's right. Let me go back to give you an idea.
Makes sense. Did you get any information?
Do you do it?
Oops. Right spelling.
You kind of make them. I love them. I have to say this all the time, but I go.
Okay, so after when I met with them, I took a picture of their house. I'll load eventually. It's a busy day. I took a picture of their house. Thank you for meeting with me, giving me an opportunity, et cetera, et cetera. And then I did a happy anniversary card. Again, I used the picture from the front. This is quite a lot of photographs, so it'll take a few minutes to load. I had pictures of her garden. I spanned the whole inside of the card with the pictures of her backyard of the garden, and then I added little insets. And she was working in her garden. By this time it was like June. I knew I was going to do the card. So I stopped. I probably had my newsletter or something. And I said, your garden is looking so great. I'm going to take some pictures. And of course, she's proud of her garden, right? So I took pictures. She has bird feeders. I took a picture of her. I said, Earl, who's her husband. I had a picture of Audrey. Let me take a picture of you. I put them all into the card. It'll load eventually. It's just the system's been kind of slow because people are doing their holiday cards. And then, of course, that card, the happy anniversary card, is the one that sealed the deal. She told me, when they knock on my door now, I tell them, when the time comes, I have a realtor. And about 6 weeks later, I listed her house, sent her a thank you card, and she was offered $1.9 million. We sold for $2.25 million.
Wow.
350,000 more to the very same agent that knocked on the door. Which is kind of like justice. You couldn't make that up, right? Whether it was the same buyer, I have no idea, but it was a win-win, right? I spent maybe $30 for cookies and brownies and cards, and it was a $56,000 commission. So, and she got it. It's kind of worth it. And she got $350,000. So if you take the commission away, it's almost $300,000
Looks
extra.
4-to-1.
So not
Yes.
bad, not bad. I also do Remembrance Day cards and other things. In fact, the Remembrance Day card that I sent them, he said to me, I'm 91 years old, and he had tears in his eyes. I've never ever gotten a card like this. And I said, well, it's long overdue. Thank you for your service. So you're reaching people on an emotional level. So let me jump into the holiday cards. Now we have the idea. So you can do pretty much anything I'm doing from your phone or from your laptop. When you go in and say, I want to send a card, it's going to ask you, do you want a photo drop card, catalog card, or build your own? Photo drop cards are templates that expect you to put your own photo on the front. It might say from my family to your family, or so you want the Hallmark family on there, you want your family, right? Or it might say, there was a baby card that said something like, sometimes the smallest things take up the most room in our heart. So it's not good for a baby, so the newborn baby from Facebook. And of course, when you go to their house, in this case, it was another realtor who lives up in Caledon, and I sent it, and she opened it with her son and husband there, and he was like, Mom, you've got to do cards like this. So I went to her house, and of course the card was on the mantle. And that's the thing, is you're making it personal. It's branded to you, they're going to display it. Other people come over, oh, what's this? Oh, I got that from my realtor. And then people say, well, my realtor doesn't send me stuff like this. Or my realtor sends me postcards of what they sold, right? Just sold, which is a different animal. I do just sold, just listed too. It's apples and oranges. We're just talking about something else.
So in reality, this stays around longer than the fridge way.
I sent one in March, my very first card that I ever sent. See if I can find it here. I have friends that I've known since like forever, and he died, and it was like a year later, and his wife said to me, next week it's going to be a year that Bob died. And you can't go to, sometimes if I resend it, it'll load faster. You can't go to a Hallmark store and buy a card, when it's a year your friend died, right? But he was a Marine in the US, and they have an honor guard at the funeral, and it was quite impressive. So I took a picture, it was like, wow, look at that. And I remembered it was on my phone, so I put that on the front. We will always remember, added that to the bottom. On the inside, I added a photograph of load eventually of the two of them, and just said, he was 83 going on 84, he was sick, it was kind of his time, right? So grief is the price we pay for love, celebrate all the good times and happy memories, thinking of you. She called me in tears. She has that card, it's March of 2016. This card is still on display in her dining room, and she said to me about a month ago, I know that card is from Bob's funeral, but every time I look at it, it makes me smile and it gives me great comfort. And I thought, you can't buy that, right? So another case, there's the photos are having trouble building today. And of course, it wasn't important for this one, but I brand the back of every card. The rest of the card is about them, not about you, but my stuff goes in the back. So you always have the contact information, whatever it is. If it's really personal and they know who I am, sometimes I'll just put my picture or a picture of them on the back of the card.
Can you have it white on the back of the card?
Whatever, yeah. I don't know why you would want to do that, but yeah, like if you're not going to brand it, use the real estate to put either a picture of them or,
Sure.
when I do a Christmas card, you see I have a picture of a tree at Rockefeller Center in New York. I'm going to put that on the back, right? So it's real estate, might as well use that, right? So, and it's funny too, I'll tell you another little story. I have a nephew who has 3 kids now, but started with one. And I've only seen her twice, the niece, once when she was 2 days old, once when she was 2 years old. So she was almost 5. I went to a wedding, and of course I send Valentine's cards, St. Patrick's, Easter, cookies, brownies, also never once got an acknowledgement, not once. Now, on gifts, you can track it, so I knew they were delivered, right? But I was kind of getting a little bit annoyed. The mother's a medical doctor, so she's not stupid. It's like, at least tell me, whatever. So I went to a wedding, and she was in the lobby FaceTiming with her daughter, and she said, oh, Peyton, look who's here at Uncle Chip. So I said hello, and after she hung up, I said, she's probably saying, who the hell is that? Because I've only seen her when she was 2 years old. And she, oh no, whenever she gets one of your cards, the first thing she does is turn it over and points to the picture on the back. That's Uncle Chip. And I was like, wow. So I saw her in August, so she was almost 5. And I thought, okay, she's going to act weird because I'm a stranger. No, she came running, oh, Uncle Chip is here, as if I had seen her last week. So I always tell people they build relationships, but it's not just with your real estate clients, it's all relationships. So it was kind of an eye-opener for me when that happened. So anyway, when you go in and send a card.
Chip, can I ask you a question?
Sure,
or
absolutely.
maybe just clarify something. Yep. So it sounds like what you're doing is you're I mean, you're using send out cards as your touch campaign essentially, instead of,
I do newsletters as well. I do other stuff. I do just listed, just sold, as appropriate. But I use it a lot. This is the one that's brought me to business. Absolutely. 80% of the time it's really about them. I see something on Facebook, they had a grandchild, they had a new child, congratulations. Somebody did something, haven't seen you in a while. Almost like door knocking, but want to catch up, let's grab a coffee, whatever. You're only limited by your imagination. You can send Starbucks cards or Tim Hortons cards. Last time I was here and I met David, he gave me a Starbucks card for my phone. I haven't used it yet, but every time I look at it, I think, oh, that's from David. But I remember, right? Yeah. So it's like an emotional thing, right? That somebody cared enough to kind of give you something.
But the wording you have inside, is that, are you just super good with coming up with things? Or do you, Google,
He's here for homework.
It's kind of a combination. Sometimes I'd like to say it's all me. Sometimes I just get an idea. For example, I was on a streetcar and this woman got on with a big black shiny shopping bag with big white letters that said, "Be bold, be italics, just don't be regular." And I thought, oh, that's kind of cute. That would make a good card. So I went home and made a card. And I had no reason to send it. It was like I just liked it, right? But about 6 hours later, a friend of mine texted me, and we used to work together, and she is a documentation specialist. So her whole word is word processing and words. And I said, "Janet, when's your birthday?" And it was like 3 weeks in the future. So that card's perfect for her. I just said happy birthday, and she loved it, because she's kind of I call her crazy Janet. She's a bit, so yeah, sometimes I just get an idea, I see something. Sometimes I'll Google, sympathy messages, birthday messages, and just kind of think, oh, I like that.
Is that one for the soldier was really nice?
For the soldier?
Yeah,
The one
the
you
grief
showed us.
comments.
Oh, that was just me. I just thought, because I didn't want to say, oh, it's tragic. He's, 99 years old. Isn't it a shame? He had a good life. He should have died 15 years before. He had a very severe stroke that people just don't survive. So that was a gift, those 15 years. You don't want to say that, Although I've said that I have said that on the phone to her, because even when he was failing, I said, when the time comes, remember, this time's a gift. And she's like, I know it, So, but yeah, you just want to, that's why I said celebrate all the good times, the happy memories, and celebrate a good life.
It's such a brilliant idea, because I do that on Instagram or Facebook, and instead of just happy birthday, I'll Google a meme and I'll put the name and if they like dogs. And there's amazing, these little memes, and you send it, but it's gone. And they love it. They have such they're like, oh my God, I love that.
Yeah.
But to put that in a card, just put that little bit of
One example.
Google it.
One of my friends who's a real estate agent in Denver, she found her biological mother. She's adopted. And so she put on Facebook, I'm so excited, I'm going to meet my mother, and I've been looking at her for years. So I took the picture, I made a card, put it on the front, and just said, congratulations, all the best. That's all. So sometimes you don't have to say a lot. She told me, I opened it up, she burst into tears, because it was the first picture on paper that she had of her mother. Because Facebook, right? It's digital. And so, it made a really lasting impression on her. Sometimes if it's a card I like, I send to myself too. Yeah, you can feel free to pass any of these.
That's a good idea, to keep a copy.
Yeah, well, if it's something I really like, I'll send it as well. You can get super personal with them. Here's another one that's really personal. A friend of mine posted that it was his mother's birthday. She had died. Her birthday is the day before my birthday. So I said, well, when did she die? It was in September. It was almost 3 years. And he was always talking about her. And it was obvious. He's a young guy, so he lost her fairly early. So I did this card, picture of flowers on the front, her and him on the inside, and just said, thinking of you, and found a poem about a mother's love. And then on the back, I just put heart, but I need to brand it. So, obviously this made an impression, and it's not something that he's ever going to throw away, right? So,
you ever had anybody say, why are you creeping my Facebook and taking my picture?
Right.
Never. The only time it ever even came close to that, There's a guy that I used to babysit, and I haven't seen him since he was like 4 years old. And he's now in his 40s. And so he was a neighbor, and his aunt said, oh, Jeffrey's on Facebook. So we connected about 7 or 8 years ago on Facebook. And I said, you probably don't remember me. No, I know who you are. You know, Aunt Teresa's always talking about you. And so anyway, last summer, his partner died. He drowned. And so I was shocked when I saw that. So I went to their Facebook page, took all these pictures, created a 3-panel card as a sympathy card. And I thought, you know, I've never met Todd. I haven't seen Jeffrey in 40 years. You know, it didn't feel wrong, but I didn't think about it, right? I got the nicest handwritten note from Jeffrey saying, thank you so much for your love and support. It means a lot. His note kind of brought me to tears, you know, because I thought, wow, it obviously made an impression for him to sit down and write a handwritten note back. So, no, generally, people understand where it's coming from. I'm not going to go to David's page and take pictures of his children or his grandchildren, because I don't really have that relationship with him. But I might take his cover photo, because he's posted that, or his profile picture. There was a realtor in Florida, kind of show you a picture if you want. He wanted to know about send-out cards, so I called him, and he said, look, dude, my girlfriend just had a baby, my in-laws are here, it's kind of crazy. And I said, oh, you had a baby? Like, when? 3 or 4 days ago. I said, wow, was it a girl or a boy? It was a boy. Like, had a son, right? You could hear the pride, right? What's his name? Dawson. So, went to his Facebook page, and I took a picture of his cover picture. So I can just find this here. And I thought, well, it's his cover picture, so he obviously likes the picture. So,
Do you ever get comments from people that like, it's not the same because it's not handwritten?
well, only people that send handwritten notes.
But it sort of looks like it, you make it look
Yeah.
like it.
Well,
You
you
make-
personalize.
You can tell it's personalized.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you change the font however.
Yeah. You can add a script font that is somebody's
Yeah,
handwriting.
that's.
Or you can upload your own
You can write
handwriting.
letters, yeah.
You can upload your own handwriting and your own signature as a font. So, and in fact, sometimes what I'll do is I'll add, not the right one, I'll add the text in black ink on white background. And, and then I'll change the signature to blue and make it a little bit bigger. And I sent one to myself, and I had to look at it 2 or 3 times. I thought, now I know I didn't sign this, but it looks pretty good.
Yeah,
It looks pretty
right,
good,
like
that's right.
And it's so specific, they know they're not getting 1 of 50.
That's right, that's right. So here's the picture that I sent when he had the baby. And sometimes if it loads faster.
That one was the piece line.
So there's the cover picture that I put on the inside of the card. He was sleeping with the baby. Just said, love has a new name today. And I didn't know him, he was a stranger. He called me, he said, dude, that's the best card I ever got. Like, how do I sign up? He now refers to me as Uncle Chip. I went to Florida, he took me out for dinner, I got to meet the baby's now 1 year old. And, you know, so we built that relationship, right? So, no, people don't get creeped out by it. So, okay, so back to holiday cards.
In the old days, it's like pen pals.
Yeah, it kind of is.
What was the pricing again for the highest amount? For
We'll
the cheapest
get
amount?
back to it. Anywhere as cheap as 99 cents or
Right.
as expensive as $3.75.
But it's all over the site, the details.
It's all over. I'll give you that information. It'll make more sense once I explain.
Yes.
So, photo drop, you can drop your photos in, catalog cards, you have access to over 20,000 cards like the Hallmark card store. You can't change the front of those cards, but you can change the inside. You can add photographs, you can add text, and get rid of their text. There's one, the only time I really use the catalog cards or forget well cards, there's one that says, a large dose of chocolate will cure just about anything, and I send it with brownies. So kind of, no matter what's ailing them, but people like that. But the inside says, now suck it up and get better, because it's like a milkshake on the front. And my friend's 90-year-old father, I thought, he's probably not going to appreciate that. So I got rid of their message and put my own. Just said, Mr. Bryden, sorry to hear about your fall. Hope you're rocking your feet soon. That kind of thing. So you have all sorts of cards, and they're adding to those all the time. But for my money, it's the custom cards. that are really the most bang for your buck, and they're really kind of emotional. You want to reach on an emotional level, right? And you can do a vertical card or a horizontal card. Before I do that, let me go into the catalog cards. And I'll just show you for Hanukkah, for example. So there are Hanukkah cards, so I'm not Jewish, but so I might go in and pick one of the pre-made Hanukkah cards when I know somebody celebrates Hanukkah and put in my message there. That's probably one that I would use for a catalog card. But to build your own, so vertical or horizontal, I prefer vertical. It stands up better on the shelf because they're going to keep it for a long time. I was told when I first started, always put the date in the card. I said, well, why? And they said, because they're not going to throw it away, they're going to keep it. You'll go to their house 2 or 3 years from now, it's going to be on the fridge or the bulletin board. I was like, I don't know whether I believe that. This is a greeting card. But it's true. Like my friend with the Marine, another guy I know, he's a Keller Williams now in Niagara. And he's a bodybuilder. He's about 25. So they're always posting pictures on Facebook of, posing. So I put one of his bodybuilder pictures on the front, put his suit and tie, real estate picture on the inside, and said, put some muscle into your home search, one goal, one result, which is his tagline. He loved it. And he said, it's still on his bulletin board at work, so it means he brought it from home to work. He says, every time somebody comes in the office, they say, dude, I can't believe you send that card to your clients. No, my friend sent it, But it's a conversation, everybody notices it, he loves it, and it makes you memorable, right? So I'm going to pick that one. And before I do that, for holiday cards, I'm going to suggest that we can create campaigns. A campaign is just a card that you've saved, that you want to send out either multiple times or to multiple people. So you say, I want to send this card to this group of people, or I've got a Hanukkah card and I'm talking to Mrs. Friedman. I think, oh, I need to send her one. So I go in and I just send it off. Boom, it's already done. Just hit send. I could do it for myself.
So once you
mail it for you?
They mail it for
So
me.
once you put in addresses, it saves
Yeah,
all the
It
addresses,
saves all those
Do
just
your
there.
lines and hello and whatever.
but there's no easy way to get your
They're gonna get it in the
database
mail.
addresses in here, but manually put
Why?
in everyone.
No, there is, absolutely.
Oh,
I
really?
just did a YouTube video yesterday about that.
Yeah.
You can import from a spreadsheet.
You can, okay.
Absolutely.
So as long as you can export from your database, you're good.
That's right. And most
Wow.
of them do.
Look at how excited they all are.
I know,
It gives
I know.
me warm fuzzies.
Yeah. So even things like cancer. I sent this card a couple of years ago. Unfortunately, I've had to send it a few times. And just last night, I had somebody call and say, I didn't want to tell you this on Facebook, but I have breast cancer and I had surgery, and it's like, she's somebody I grew up with. Another woman who's the girlfriend of a good friend of mine, I sent her this card, and she referred me to her hairdresser who wants to buy for $2 million. Now, that's not why I sent the card, right? But again, people appreciate you, and so this is what the card looks like. I just found a picture, it's a really big picture of a big flower, and then it'll load eventually. The front of it says faith, hope, courage. Inside it says the most important love, thinking of you. It's a hard time. And there was a guy on Facebook, I'm in a real estate group, and he said, I showed them that card, and he said, my wife had cancer, and if somebody had sent me us that card when she was going through that, we would have both been in tears. And I was like, well, so, and that's the inside. And, again, you're just letting them know you're thinking of them, right? So it kind of raises some eyebrows, and this is another branding that I did from Casa Loma, where they're playing a symphony in the park, in the garden. And so I use that as a back, because it kind of speaks of luxury.
You put that in the back of that card?
Yeah, I put them back all of them.
The cancer card?
Well, that's the default. I probably did, but it doesn't really matter. I could change it, but I know the person I sent it to is not going to care. I'm not going to care. I didn't really think about telling the truth. Usually I stop and think about what I'm sending. So anyway, I'm going to create a campaign because I want to create a holiday card. You can do the campaign first and then do the card, or you can do the campaign and do the card first. It doesn't really matter the order. You can even say, I want to do a campaign and find a card that you sent to somebody else last year and add that to your campaign. So you have choices. So I'm going to click on the plus sign, And I'm going to call it KW Christmas, just so you know it's a new one. And create the campaign. It says, okay, what do you want to have as a card? And do you want it to be photograph, catalog, or build your own? So I'm going to do is build your own. And you have a choice from a flat card, which comes in an envelope, 2-panel card, which is what most of these are, or a 3-panel card, which is this. So if you have lots of photographs, it's a 3-panel. And a really big card. I don't think I brought one today. They're 8 by 8.5 by 11. If you have lots of pictures, kids, that would be good. I sent only 2 of them, and they were both for 90th birthday parties. So lots of pictures over the years, and they loved it, right? So, or you can send a postcard. I've never sent a postcard. I prefer it to be in an envelope, but you can. You can also do a standard finish, which is sort of semi-gloss. Most of these are at standard, what you see here. I call it semi-gloss, so it's a little shiny. The other ones, it's either satin or pearl, I'm not sure, but it's more of a matte finish. They cost 50 cents extra. And next. So add your picture. Now, if I want more than one picture on the front, I have choices. I can put, 100 pictures or 6, whatever the number is. I'm just going to go with the full page. And actually, I'm going to take that back. Let me go back to layout and change my mind.
Big question is, are you giving us discount cards when we sign up?
Actually, if you sign up for either a $97 plan or a $147, you're going to get a book.
Oh.
This is a great book about relationships. It was done by the founder of Send Out Cards. It's not really about Send Out Cards. It's about relationship building. It's really a good book. However,
Your company, Jim?
Is my company?
Is your company?
It's like you get a commission for real estate when you refer somebody. You can become a referral partner.
Oh,
And
okay.
basically, it's like 20% commission. So if they send a card that's $3, you're going to get 60 cents. So
Sweet.
not going to retire.
Well,
More passive income.
something.
My attitude was, if this thing can pay for itself, then that's good. I'm happy with that.
Well, we
right?
want to
So-
hear about it.
Yeah, so anyway, I'm going to add my photo. I've already uploaded it, so I have a bunch of pictures. So I'm going to add this one, and I'm going to just say Merry Christmas. And I'm going to change the font to be Papyrus, is one that I like. You have a choice. And I'm going to make it a little bit bigger. And I'm going to click on the background of the card and go to background. And change the color to red. It's a little more festive, right? And the Merry Christmas would probably look better if I made that white. And just wanted to show you what you can do.
And you can upload your own designs if you design something outside
Your
of
own
this, if you want
fonts or your
to.
own-
Yeah, everything. So your own fonts, your own
Your own
card.
photos, for sure. Like I uploaded this photo.
Yeah.
I just figured you didn't need to see that,
Yeah.
right? But yeah, fonts, no. You can do your own signature or your own handwriting as a font.
But there's one.
But there's a
lot of
bunch of
fonts.
there's a bunch of fonts, yeah. Then on the inside, I'm going to go with a full. You have a choice. Do you want text, or do you want picture, or do you want nothing at all? You don't have to put anything. I like to put pictures, so I'm going to choose a full page. And a friend of mine is an artist, and this is one of her pieces. I kind of like.
See,
It's,
I like that.
people like animals. I'm going to make the background red, like I did on the other side, and I'm going to make the.
Oh, that's that.
And I'm going to make the font white. And I'm going to say December 2018. Now the holiday card, I don't expect them to keep it forever, but if it were more personal. Dear, and what I can do, oops, it's not showing up. Wait.
God, this makes the campaign so much easier.
Dear, and what I can do is I can scroll down over on the left side and see what I choose first name, and it's going to be like a mail merge. So it'll be David and Nicoletta or Chip or Irene, whoever's going to get the card. So first name, comma, and I'm just going to say wishing you the joys of an old-fashioned Christmas.
Oops.
Oh, it happened. It's kind of weird. Old-fashioned. What's going on? Oh, that's kind of weird. What's going on here?
Just out of curiosity, is it gonna be the same price whether you put an image on all 4 working parts of the
It depends
card?
on what you sign up for.
Okay,
If it's a free account, you're gonna pay $1 extra for the photos.
okay.
And if it's not, then no, it's free.
What's break me out?
You know what, I'm gonna start this over because there's something wrong. I've never seen this before. I can do a card in under a minute, but not talking. Layout, this one. I probably hit a key that I shouldn't have hit, but I don't know what I did.
So, sorry, I'm
That's
while you're
okay.
working. If you're sending the card, if you're doing a merge from your database and you've dumped
Yeah.
everything into a spreadsheet, what if one of your contacts has more than one first name? So you've got like John and Susan.
Yeah, I'll tell you how to do that. They're gonna change that, enhance it, because right now, there's no one answer that fits everybody.
Okay.
I generally, because sometimes they're married to the same last name, sometimes they're married, they have different last names. So I usually say John and Susan in the first name, and then Smith/Jones in the last name, and it kind of covers everybody. So then when I say dear first name, I get everybody, whether it's just Susan or whether it's Susan or John. You know, you know, that's one way of handling it. I've never seen this before. It's kind of weird. This happens like kids. So, dear, and I'm going to go over here to first name, comma. I'm going to justify it. Wishing you joys of an old Christmas. Notice I'm not asking for business. It's just about them. You know, it's a Merry Christmas. I can select the whole thing, and I can choose envelope hand, which is a font that I like. I think people think this really is my handwriting. I usually make my name a little bit bigger because it's a little bit, it's like fools the eye a little bit, looks a little bit more natural. And so that's my card is done. And now if I go to the back, I don't want to put the wine glasses on the back because it's not really Christmassy. So I can go to my layouts and I can choose, I'm just going to grab this chair. I can choose a back that I've already created before, or I can create a new back, whatever I want to do. So I have this Christmas picture. So again, most of the people who are going to get this card are not clients. They're people who know me, even if they were clients. So I'm not going to brand the back. That's just my personal choice. Last year, I think I did. I don't know. So it's just whatever makes sense to you. Most of my holiday cards that I send out at New Year's to my business. So that one I'll brand the back. This one I probably will just, although I did find another picture, and this one I did brand with my logo and my name and my contact, so it's a little subtle. And that's kind of a nice picture for Christmas or for winter. It's really just your choice, whatever you want to do. And then I'm going to add to campaign, because I started the campaign. Now the campaign has this card in it. I can then send that card to anybody. We're just clicking on send order, and I'm going to select the campaign. Doesn't matter, it hasn't loaded, it'll still do it.
How many people are in that campaign?
No, there's zero right now. It's just a card, right? I can schedule this to go in the future. Right now it's immediate send, so I can schedule it to go on their birthday or anniversary for a house anniversary card, or a specific date in the future. So let's say December 14th as the magic day I'm going to send my Christmas cards. So I can schedule it if I wanted to schedule it.
And you can break up just like a database, all your groups, so your family, your friends, your clients.
So when I go to add recipients, it's going to ask me, are they a contact or are they a group? So I can look at my groups, and I have groups. It should show me all the groups. View contacts, view groups. What's going on here? View contacts. View groups. Not loading. Okay. This happened last night, and then I left and came back, and they were there, so it's just kind of a hiccup. But I know I have a bunch of groups, Group A, Group B, and Group C. When I did my video yesterday, you can create groups from your spreadsheet. So yeah, I could do my groups, or I could go through and I could choose multiple people from my contacts if I want to. What I normally do is go through the contacts, create a group called Christmas 2018, add them to the group, and then just send it to the group. Let me go out of this for a second and come back. Campaign. Personal. This is what happened yesterday. I was like, what do you mean I have no campaigns? Campaigns. I'm going to come back here. So once I have my group set up, I can do the card in like, a few minutes and send to, 200 people if I want to. And, 5 minutes later, my Christmas cards are done, or New Year's cards, whatever they happen to be. Let me go back to campaigns. I think it got completed. That's it's loading campaigns before it told me I had no cards.
Yes.
And they'll stamp it, they'll write it out, the whole thing. This is what it looks like when you get it in the mail, so it kind of looks like a birthday card.
Nice.
Everybody opens them, because when's the last time you got a birthday card in the mail, you didn't open it? Never, right? So, oh, what's this? Like even my mailman said, how come some of your mail is from you and to you? And I send myself cards, and I said, relax, it's okay. I'm not weird, There they are. So KW Christmas, I'm going to click on open, send order, select the card, go to create, it'll load the order, go down to add recipients, go to my groups, there's my groups, okay, I knew they were there. Okay, so I've got all sorts of groups. So I've got one that's Christmas 2018, I don't think there's a whole lot of people in there yet, I just did it done. It's going to show you at the bottom who's going to get the card. I can go in, I can say, you know what, Walker sold his house to somebody else, I'm going to take him out of the list. Why would I send him a Christmas card when, he's another agent. Once I click on, I'll come back and say ready to send. Once I say ready to send, it's going to show me how many cards it's going to send and what it's going to cost and what the postage is.
Does it show what each, because if their name is going to be on it, can you look at what each one's going to look like?
Yeah, you see right here, like RD Adair with the address. Now, I can change the address here if I want to. Change the, I guess the name.
So it's just right here that you can see what it's going to...
Yeah, just right here, right? So I could say, okay, RD, her name is Roberta. She goes by RD, so if it said Roberta, I could change it to RD. If they, let's say her apartment number was missing, I could say, it's Suite 101 or whatever it happens to be, and change it. Otherwise, and it'll come back eventually. Now, even after you click send, they're not going to print till 2 o'clock tomorrow morning. You can go in and look at all your pending cards, and you can make changes there too, either to the address or to the actual card itself. So I always encourage people when they're new to do that, because you make typos. In fact, I did one last night or this morning. I was doing a demo over Zoom, and I had made a typo and I didn't realize it. And I said, I always check for typos. And the help was HELO, and I was like, oh, I didn't do that on purpose. But I was able to change it and show the person that I could fix it before it goes out. So
Yes.
there's lots of cards here.
Out of your database, how many people would you say you send holiday cards to?
Well, last Christmas I did about 150, and at New Year's I did 250 or 275.
Okay.
I send more New Year's cards to business people, although that's changing, because some of them I'm closer to, like my builder that I met at a pizza shop. We're friends now, so yeah, ready to send. They're going to tell me, now I have that 1,000 card package, for $9.99, so it says these would have been 99 cents. I prepaid them, so there's no charge for the cards. And I'm paying $8 for postage. And there's a counter on my account that says, okay, you have 919 cards left. You're going to send 19 cards, and I have 900. So eventually that changes.
And the post is the same, there's no discount.
Postage is postage, yeah, it's 85 cents. Now, everything in here is US funds. So you are paying 85 cents US, just the way it goes. If you're a referral partner,
That's not good, that's
well,
like 35% more.
it is what it is. You know, I just decided I wasn't going to worry about it when I started. I worried more about value than cost, you know, because I sent one card and got $56,000. Like, that's going to pay for my cards for the next 85 years, right? It's like after that I'm on my own, right? But if you become a referral partner and you get 20%, you're earning US dollars too. So it kind of balances itself out. So that's about the only downside that I can think of. I'm going to cancel this and delete the order. Now if I go into my card history, I'm going to see all the pending cards that are waiting. These are mostly birthday cards for December. Here's one for my sister, it's a birthday card. Now notice on hers, I've added brownies. They're called them birthday brownies, it's more like cake.
So do they send that?
They send it, that's right.
They send them around?
They send it, brownies, cookies, all kinds of things. There's dozens of things, so.
I've got to go. Do you have a referral card that's going to be so I can
Just
give you 60 cents?
send me a text,
Okay.
you know, just SOC.
Yeah.
There's an app that I can send you as well.
Awesome.
And I can chat with you.
Sweet.
In just a minute.
Thanks.
Take care.
Appreciate
Nice to
it.
meet
You too. Thanks.
Yeah, so here's all here's all of the,
So
the
you know the time I spent.
yeah, let me just show you, there's no flowers. Let me show you the gifts since you're asking.
That's fabulous.
There's seasonal gifts, there's ornaments, there's, you know, some things are more expensive than others, like eventually the low gratitude ornament's $32. There's another ornament that is like $11 or
It didn't have to be mums, it could have been something here.
so yeah, there's things that you can, this one has a little bell, like an ornament at $11. There's a really neat car, this one, that the owner of the company, it's his father's car, so he calls it Grandpa's Ornament, it's $24. But it comes really nicely packaged and everything, so, you know,
What's
it's
the deadline you get for Christmas?
December 14th or whatever. There's a list according to the post office. What they do, they overnight everything to Burlington. It goes in Canada Post. in Burlington.
So it's whatever,
So it
yeah.
looks like it's coming from the Canadian Mail. In fact, it just
But
says.
if it's a gift, it will be bigger, right?
Well, it'll be in a box.
Yeah,
It'll be in a
so
cardboard
they'll
box.
tell you dates, like you have to order by this.
Yeah, I
to
have
get it
those.
by
I
this.
have those dates. Yeah, I
Okay.
think December 14th is pretty much the
That's
cutoff.
pretty
Yeah,
good.
that's pretty good. So yeah, there's all kinds of things. If I want to do food like cookies.
Yeah.
Oops. They used to have these lemon cookies I like to sell, but they must be out of them. These are like birthday cookies. I send those a lot. The brownies, chocolate chip cookies. The brownies
Dog
are
treats.
yeah,
Oh
dog treats. There are people love that. I'm not a dog person, but yeah. The brownies are amazing.
Are they?
They're like crack. They really are. They're so good, you know.
How do you know?
And you can.
The mother in me.
Yeah, you can, 2 brownies, 4, 8, 16, 32, whatever you want to. So if you wanted to send to a team of people, let's say if a client has a business,
Right.
you could send 32 brownies or 36 brownies, I guess, in the pack, and really wow them. You know, I did that with my pizza guy who's referred me a lot of business. It was his birthday. He's got 5 kids, and him and his wife, so 7 people. So I sent him 8 brownies, and he posted on social media. That's the other thing is people get these cards and often they'll put on social media, wow, look what Chip sent me.
Right.
And he said, he referred to it as a mountain of brownies, you know. So I wanted to make sure each of the kids got a brownie. And he said I put one in each of their lunches, you know, so he shared them. So, and they're really, really good. I sometimes stick them in the freezer if I get them. And then,
You don't find any issue with like freshness?
no, never. There was one person, the mailman left at the door and the squirrels got the treat. I never thought of that, but anyway, let's talk about pricing since you've been asking about that. They have different plans. There's a plan for everybody. The free plan does not include campaigns, does not include group sends, it does not include the CRM. If you add people to you send them a card, it'll save the name and address, but that's it. You don't get birthdays, you don't get contact, you don't get spouse or children. For $17 a month, oh, and those cards are $2.75 plus $1 for photographs. So $3.79, kind of expensive. I always say this is for people who are kicking tires. If they're not sure, they might try it, do that. It's still cheaper than Hallmark. For $17 a month, the price is reduced to $2.25, including photos. So you don't pay extra for photos. And you get 15% off of your gifts like brownies and cookies, so it's not bad. If you aren't going to send a lot of cards, like this is really for a personal account as far as I'm concerned. Anybody who's a realtor or has a business of any kind should look at the premium or the enterprise. For $97 a month, you get unlimited heartfelt cards, those single send cards, including postage. So the break-even point is about 30 cards. So it's only one card a day. If you can't think of one person every day in your business to send a card to, then you might have other issues, right? Like, and you send 2 or 3 cards. Let's say you send 100. $85 of that 97 is postage, right? Like, do the math. It's like a great
almost
deal.
like free cards.
And then you don't worry about it's US dollars, right? It's free.
You
Your
don't
cards
at
are
all,
free. You
no,
don't at all.
exactly.
Right? So that is the one that I think most people should look at. They're also going to save 30% on gifts like brownies and cookies. You're also going to, so let's say on this plan, you're going to spend $1.75 for the scheduled cards or for the group sends. But they're going to give you 10 group sends free. They call them loyalty points. So instead of the 10 group sends would be $17.50. So instead of 97, it's now 79. Depending on how many cards you send, you deduct the postage. You're getting the price per card down pretty cheap, pretty low.
What's a group send?
A group send is a card that you're going to send to more than one person.
Christmas.
But if you did them individually?
Well, if you do them individually, you have to create it from scratch.
Oh,
No
okay.
copy and pasting.
Okay.
And they, it's
Oh,
going to.
But it's free. You
It's
gotta
free.
live
There
with
we
it.
are.
But it just takes some more time.
Like the card I did in front of
Yeah,
you,
yeah.
that would be a heartfelt, even though I used that photo before and I'm going to type in the message.
Yeah.
That's a
It could
heartfelt
go to
card.
that.
That's right. So you reduce the price. The only difference between these two is that if you're going to use it for farming, the $147 a month, you're going to get 100 group sends free. So really 110 if you count the 10 you're already getting. You are paying postage for those, but normally those group sends would be $1.75, so 100 would be $175. You're getting them for $50, so again, 125 off. It's a pretty good deal if you're going to do it for farming. I'm on that plan, so like Christmas, I might do 100 Christmas cards November 30th, then another 75 in December. New Year's, December 30th or 31st, I'm going to do 100. January 1st or 2nd, I'm going to do another 75. So I often straddle like that, so that I'm only sending like 6 times a year, but for the group sends, rather than every single month. And again, the groups aren't always the same people in the groups, so it's up to me how I want to mix it up.
So how much is a group send per card?
A group send, if you're on the 97, is
Yeah.
$175
Per card?
per card, plus postage. If you get the enterprise, you're getting 100 of those included for $50.
How do they-
Postages, actually.
How much is postage then?
85 cents, same as Canada.
US,
Yeah.
So could you, before you were mentioning that it was like $9.99 for 1,000 cards.
Yeah,
what-
they said, you know what, we have a deal for groups, but we don't have deal for scheduled cards. So in October, they came out with these 2 new packages, Elite Plus. For 500 cards, you can purchase ahead of time, $6.25, $1.25 each. So instead of the $1.75, it's $1.25, or 99 cents each for 1,000 cards. At first, I thought, it's kind of expensive. But then I added up, I took out an Excel spreadsheet, I said 125 Christmas, 250 New Year's, Happy Spring. I was up to 1,150 cards. I thought, I'm sending them anyway, and I'm spending $1.75. It's doable. If you're on the 147, I'm not trying to upsell anybody, I want to let you know what the options are. I didn't know this myself. If you're on the 147 plan, and let's say you do the 1,000 cards, and by June you send out all 1,000 cards, they'll let you keep sending cards for the full 12 months at the 99-cent price. So you can send 3,000 or 4,000 cards at that price, so you don't have to purchase another one. That's really a loyalty thing, of saying we appreciate you being on that level.
So is the thousand cards enough for 1 year or is that?
1 year,
for
1 year. So if you did it in December, for
Yeah.
example, where there's 500 or 1,000,
Perfect timing.
you could do it this year, and then if you have any left over for next December,
Yeah.
use them then
Yeah,
too.
November.
So you'll use them. But in addition to that, you get the handwriting font for free, the first impressions cards, those black and white. They're normally $99 for the combo pack, so instead of $9.95, it's now $1,000 or $8.95. And you also get access to the campaign store. So this is what the first impressions cards look like. They're very attractive, very professional. Again, if I meet somebody at a BNI or professionally, I'll send them one of these. It's just easy. I don't have to think about it. Nice to meet you, thank you, or celebrating possibilities.
At least you gotta get their address.
But that's
Yeah,
that's
have
on
people's
the
addresses.
exclusive package or?
No, any of them. You can purchase it for $99 for both of those.
That's
But if you're doing the scheduled package, this is free, right? This is included. So the price comes down. Instead of $1,000, it's $900 now. So because you're saving the $99. But they also have a campaign store where you can purchase campaigns. And there's 8 or 10 different ones for real estate. Buyers, prospects, sellers. Sometimes there's a 3 card, sometimes there's a 5 card.
And
Now-
this is all on the website, right?
This is all on the website, it's under pricing. So, for example, these are designs that you're purchasing. So once you purchase a real estate, this one here, buyer congrats, for example. 5 cards are usually $135. 3 cards are usually $85. But if you're on the scheduled card package, these are all free. They're included. So if you use 10 of these at $135, the cards are free, right? So, it's like, then I was like, wow, when I started thinking about it. So with this one, the immediate congratulations on buying your house. And of course, you can change what it says inside, and you can add photos. 3 months, that's right. 3 months later, you can also create your own campaigns. You don't have to use theirs, but these are already made. Home Sweet Home. This one I think says, we hope you're enjoying your house, now that you've been there for a few months. 12 months later, anniversary card, birthday, and holiday. One of the campaigns, I think after 6 months, it was asking for referrals, basically saying, do you have any friends that would like a great house like yours, that kind of thing. So if you're not all that creative, you can purchase these. But the reason I brought it up is that if you're on the elite package, they're going to be free or included in the price. So all of it is under pricing. So I've done most of the talking. If you have questions, I'll give out my card. I'm happy to help people get started. You can pass them around. I always tell people, if you sign up under me, you get me too, for coaching, training. I spent 25 years as a technical trainer in business, so I'm kind of used to doing this. I'll help you. I get calls all the time from realtors. I don't even know who my sponsor is, or my daughter's gymnastic coach. I'm a realtor, can you help me? And I was like, you know what? As a realtor, you should understand you can only have one realtor at a time, right? So you can only have one sponsor at a time. I'm happy to help anybody. I really have more.
That's okay, we can share.
That's my other card. You can always text me and I can.
I will.
Okay. So you get me for free, mentoring, coaching, helping. I also have a secret Facebook group that if people that sign up under me, I add cards, sample cards, testimonials, welcome. It's a bit of a community, right? And there's about 135 people.
Do you know if we can switch our sponsor?
Are you a customer or you're
Well, yeah, under an existing plan.
Yeah, you're just a customer though, right?
Yeah, where it's on the point system where you buy points.
Do you have any relationship with your sponsor? Have you been actively using?
Oh, yes.
How many
Maybe we
points
just
you
have
got?
a new account,
Yeah. I think we
Thank you very
just-
much.
like under one of our names.
Yeah.
The official word is no.
Okay.
What they really want you to do is start a new account, which is possible. My advice is to call customer service and just say, I want to switch, and I kind of feel like you should be able to be under whoever you want. They don't want to yank people out, but if you're not getting good service, if you've been inactive, they're kind of like, okay, we'd rather you be active, but
Yeah.
if you're active, I don't know what they're going to say. The easy thing to do would be just to kind of start an account. Since you're here, something I didn't mention is I can also go into my recipients, the CRM behind the scenes, go to contacts, and I can say, okay, who has a birthday coming up in January? Maybe you already do this. So January birthdays, and it's going to find 44, 45 people. Look through the list, making sure they're still all alive, they haven't sold their house to somebody else. And then, because I have a campaign set up for birthdays, I need to select my people first. I have a birthday campaign. Here it is. Submit it. I'll load the card, give me a chance to change the card if I want to, send it to all 45 people. So that's kind of an easy way. And for anniversary, I use the house anniversary when they bought their house. I can do the same thing for that as well. So, like I said, anybody that signs up for the $97 plan will get this relationship marketing book, which sounds really kind of like on his head, but it's actually a very good book. It's lots and lots of great ideas. The guy that started this is like amazing, and they're a really easy company to work with. But it's been like rocket fuel for my business. It really, I was skeptical. I was like, oh, it's just a good card. What's a big deal? But it is a big deal because people don't get mail. Maybe 3% of the mail that we get is personal. So when you send them something to their house, you've taken the time. They see their picture on the front, or their kids, or their dog, or their house, and they're like, "Wow, that's you're reaching them at an emotional level."
So, is there training on the website?
There is. If you're a referral partner, this is supposed to change, but I haven't seen it change yet. See where it says business training? This is supposed to be available for customers as well. There's a whole section on using it, sharing it, and building it. This was not available to customers. I talked to the owner. He said they're going to add it for customers, at least the use it part, where they've got videos on how to do it. I'm starting to I have a YouTube channel called It's Never Just a Card, because I used that as a hashtag once, it's never just a card. I thought, I kind of like that. But it's true. It's not just a card that you're sending. You're reaching people at an emotional level. So those are here. Otherwise, every once in a while I come in and I do sessions. I'm happy to help you.
And this is different on the computer versus the iPad too, right?
It shouldn't be. The iPad thinks you're a phone. It's mobile, right?
Yeah.
So there are certain things that are never available on the phone.
Through the app?
Through the app.
Oh, so I see, okay.
So if you want everything, you're going to use the laptop.
Okay.
Mostly, in terms of doing cards, most of what I can do on the laptop I can do on the phone. I can't change the background color. There's certain things. I can't change the image of the background. There's certain things, because it's always a subset of what's available on the phone, just for convenience. But I've been doing most of the talking. Do you have any other questions? And I've got lots of, actually, I should have gotten out some of my Christmas holiday cards.
You're going to bring me a brownie this night, won't you?
No. And sometimes,
For somebody who's starting out in the business, are you asking for personal addresses?
Just
kinda
ask.
just
I don't have, can I have your address? I had my basement renovated last year. Yeah, just ask. I had my basement done, so I had the plumbers and tile setters and carpenters and plaster, drywall, taper guys. And so I did a card for all of them with pictures of them working, and thank you for doing such a good job. The plaster drywall guy is kind of like big macho Italian guy, Guido. And I said, Guido, where do you live? Can I get your address? And he gave it to me, and he said, why? And I said, well, I'm sending you something. Okay. And then I sent him a card in brownies. He called me practically in tears. It dawned on me, people don't thank those kinds of people. I said those kinds of people. But they'll complain, they'll complain to them, but they're not going to thank them. So he was so impressed. He said, if you need anything at all, I don't care how small it is, I'll come after work, do anything. Every single one of them that I talked to and asked for their address, we had a real estate conversation. Even the young kids, I live at home, I'm going to buy a condo or a house next year. Another young guy came back, turned out it was his birthday. He's 25, where do you live? Well, I live with my grandpa up in Caledon. We have 15 acres, and builders always knock on our door wanting to buy. Grandpa's 90, so he put the land in my name and my sister's name. When he's gone, we probably will sell. I was like, well, I'm a realtor. Let me put you on my newsletter list, right? So of course I sent him a card and brownies. It was his birthday, so I mentioned that. This is a card that I sent. People had me over for Thanksgiving up in Muskoka. So I took a picture and span the whole inside of the card. Now, you know, if we got this is impressive. This is their cottage, right? It's like, wow. Do you think they're going to throw this away? You know, like not likely, right? So, but yeah, that's kind of how it works. And here's some Christmas cards too. Pass these around if you like.
So thoughtful.
It was really nice. So your address is your personal home address, or is it your broker?
I choose my personal home address, but you can put whatever you want.
But notice some of them don't print
Yeah, that's
overly
my,
clearly, it's just
that's
our.
my fault.
Okay.
Yeah, I need to redo that.
So we just need a higher resolution.
The high
photo.
resolution, that's right. This one's a little bit off, but that's my fault.
So this is one of the guys sent it to
I
you.
like this one.
Yeah, that somebody sent that to me. He doesn't have credit
Yeah,
for that.
Oh, this is what he sent to yourself.
That's what I sent myself, that's right. Some of the options on the back, you can have their address and your address both, so they can follow up. I decided not to do that after a while, because my contact information is always on there. So you don't, but the return address will be either your business address or your home address. If it's your business address and you want to default, you want to change it on a particular card, you can do that too. So it's, you have lots of options. So is this something you think you can use in your business?
So,
It's you know, like,
Yeah.
it's easy, you know. I can go to somebody's house, take a picture with my phone, sit in the car, send the card before I even drive out of the driveway. And, you know, it's like, wow, you know. I saw a video where it was a tree faller. You know who Paul Bunyan is?
Yeah.
You know, he's a real life Paul Bunyan. He's like 6'5", he's got a beard, he cuts down trees for a living. And he was doing a video, he's pumping gas into his truck. He said, I started sending cards about a year ago. I'm thinking, this guy sells cards. And then you see he's up at the top of a tree, and they have big trees on Vancouver Island. And he takes a picture of the person's house, and he talks into the phone, Mrs. Smith, thank you very much for using Totem Tree Services. We really appreciate the business, Dave and the crew. P.S. Enjoy the brownies. And I click here. I thought, if this guy can send cards from the top of a tree, any of us can do it. You know, it's like, that's when I realized, you know. And then I was showing it to the guy who owns Exit Realty for all of Florida, and he saw that video. And he said, what you don't know about me is I made my money in landscaping in Toronto. I know what all the equipment costs, because he said his business has expanded. He had to buy 2 new bucket trucks and 3 chippers and other stuff, right? And he said, if he's buying all that equipment because his business is expanding, he's making a potload of money. And I said, well, he did say he tripled his income, right? But you know, that kind of went over my head. So I thought, if he can do it, so can I. You know, like, what do you have to lose, right? Like, you know. And if you're a referral partner and it pays for itself, then you really have nothing to lose, right? So that's kind of the way I looked at it. But even if you're paying $97 a month, like, it's probably one of the cheapest marketing things out there that there is. You know, like, none of them are free.
It's not that expensive and it's personal.
It's personal, that's right. That's right.
Because we're paying
So,
We had a party for my uncle last week, and I sent the picture of the family picture to him. And he called me last night. He said, thank you so much for the card. I've seen the picture, this is the first one I have. And he saw everything, shows the money.
it makes a difference.
So
It
they're
makes a
looking
difference.
for $20 a month.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that you're
It's
not
great.
send out cards.
Just, like, don't, like, I have all these things
Yeah,
here.
it's a different
Yeah,
style.
it really is, it really is. I mean,
Just generic.
it's hard. I mean, even this one, when
No,
I
I
was
wanna
done this
sign up-
one, I was
I wanna
like, I
sign
was
up with
really
the top,
impressed.
top,
And I
everything.
said,
Get it all.
thinking of you, Shane, and then
Let's
he
start
posted
sending
on
these out with fucking
Facebook that
crazy.
whenever he sees this picture of his mother, he always thinks that's what she's thinking. And I just
Well,
have
that
to,
too,
so
it's
it's
very
very
important, I think,
personal,
to
right?
keep like.
And so yeah, it's
Is that online?
nice, it's fun to
No, we still
do,
need that.
and it feels good to be able to do
I
that
wanna get
for
rid of that.
somebody.
It's
You know,
like,
you're,
You know,
you're
my things,
you're
we don't
giving them
have
that
that
experience,
full
right?
receipts.
So,
So
same
we
with
need
clients,
that.
birthdays,
For when they buy
whatever,
houses?
you know, it's just,
Oh,
you're
you're
not
talking about
limited.
congratulations.
Yeah,
only by
yeah.
No, I
imagination,
use it for
right?
birthdays.
Even
Oh,
restaurants, if
no,
I
we're
go to a
talking
restaurant a
about-
lot,
we're
it's
talking
run by
about
real
like
people, I'll
buyers.
send them a card.
Even
My
birthdays, it's
pizza
better to
guy,
get
I'm
Oh,
saying,
yeah,
"Hey,
like
keeps
fish
all my
burgers
cards on the
everywhere,
shelf. There's restaurants.
You don't
And
have their-
clients that I meet there,
No,
like,
like,
oh, you're
we
the
can
card
take
guy, you know, because they come there, what are you card,
Of
oh,
course,
my picture.
it's- and it
And
kind We
It's
eliminate
crazy.
the binder with the folders completely. So
yeah.
you're getting rid of
And I,
that.
because I'm local, if you sign up under me, I'm happy to come in and do workshops.
So I think it's twofold.
Like this could have been a workshop to build your
Yeah, I'll
Christmas
use it
card.
like crazy.
If you
Have you had one yet?
I was just gonna say, you got your hair done, right?
Yesterday. Get all
Yeah.
this really funny.
That's
Somewhere
right,
in the
you know, you
front.
need some
Yeah,
photos
we're
ahead of
not
time,
front.
you need your
Yeah.
clients
Big
already in the
cut,
system.
color done,
And
and
then
then
you
like
do that
$4.5
yourself. The other thing I can do is, if I have a card that you like,
around here.
I can
Yeah, I go
share it with you,
after
with
we're done
your
for-
username.
Oh, yeah.
And then it goes into your library, so like that Christmas card that I built, I could send it to you. So if you're in the system, so if you're not sure, sign up with a free account. And you can look through and check the pricing and check the cards, and you have complete access to the site, doesn't cost you a cent. And then if you want to upgrade to another subscription, you can do that anytime, upgrade, downgrade. If you want to do the $147 just for Christmas and get your 100 Christmas cards sent out, and then January you can downgrade to 97, that works too. I'm in a bit of a contest between now and December 13th.
Sounds like gold.
So if you sign up, if you're gonna sign up in December, do it before the 13th, that'll help me out. I actually found out on Monday, out of the whole company, I'm in the top 5, number
Nice.
4.
Oh,
It's like,
yeah.
oh, I
Is
was
this a
shocked.
true story, or is this a real estate story?
It's just a kind of
We have a
story.
contest at the office.
No,
You
it's
gotta
So
get
we
listed.
have a script thing with
Oh,
Keller
okay.
Williams. It's like, we're doing a contest for
Yeah.
referrals.
I didn't even know, because there's a call every Monday with the founder of the company, and I got annoyed at something, and I hung up from the call, and I had to call customer service. So I went back on, and all these people kept saying, congratulations, Chip, congratulations. It's like, okay, did I miss something?
Oh,
They announced that I was in the top 5. I was like, really? I was like, I was shocked.
Where did they based out of?
Salt Lake City, Utah.
Oh, okay.
Well, Mormons.
I was gonna say Mormons in the shop.
Yeah, it's apparently Utah's big for multi-level marketing.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
There's a bunch of other.
But they're really, it's a good company, they're good people. Like I said, if you're going to Canada, they FedEx or however they overnight things to either Burlington or Calgary or their tubs. And they go into Canada Post, so it doesn't, 4 to 7 days is what I tell people for shipping times. And like I said, if you end up getting a $97 or $147, I'm happy to send you the book too, which is like a $20 value. So thank you for your time. I appreciate it.
Thank you.